for coming to this meet and greet for Tatianna Matta, who is running for Congress in our 23rd district against Kevin McCarthy, our favorite starburst providing congressman. So a couple things, just housekeeping things before I hand it over to Tatianna, and very informal. You know, she'll tell you a little bit about herself, and then you guys can ask some questions. It's very expensive to run for Congress, and if you can get 2,000 signatures before February 7th, is it 2,000 total? You don't have to pay those fees. So, and she can better spend her funds elsewhere. So if you have not yet, she has signature sheets here. And the deadline is the 7th, which is Wednesday? Wednesday. So if you are going to be able to maybe take a signature thing and get signatures for her and then get them to her by February 7th, that would also be extremely helpful. So also donation envelopes are on the table as well. You can take those with you and mail them to her if you don't want to do that today. She does need to have the little information form on the envelope is mandatory for donations. So those are all available on the table. And now here's Ms. Matta. Put your face right on it.
All right. Thank you so much, Elise. Thank you for helping us set the meeting up. I want to thank Vera and Ernie for the wonderful hosting. I am so excited to be here with all of you. I wanted to share my story with all of you. Can you hear me well? Okay.
Put your lips right on it.
Okay, so we're doing this. All right. I'm Tatianna Matta. I am running for the 23rd Congressional District. I want to say that I was born in Puerto Rico, in San Juan, Puerto Rico in 1983. I'm 34 years old. I was born to a single mother. My mom was a public school teacher for 30 years. My dad was a corrections officer, a National Guard member. It was in and out of our lives, you know, not there majority of our time. But my mom was my hero. You know, she was always with me. When we were little, she decided as a teacher that education was really important for us. That she wanted a better future for me, and that we're moving from Puerto Rico to the States. And only her and I, 2 bags, we went to Delaware. I don't know why Delaware, because it's really cold, but she decided that Delaware was a state. You know, she could have picked California or Florida. No, she picked Delaware. But when we got there, we lived with a friend of hers, and you know, we started our life. It was hard, you know, to come into a classroom. You don't know anyone. You don't know the language. I didn't know English. I knew Spanish. I didn't have anyone around me that I knew. My grandma, my family was back home. I can tell you that the first days, they put us all together in a Spanish-speaking class. The people around me were from Mexico, Colombia, Nicaragua. They're not, you know, did not speak English. Every time we went to the cafeteria, I had no idea what was happening. You know, I just knew that I was at a certain time going to take, you know, to the restroom or going outside. That was it. I didn't know, you know, the language. That was hard.
How old were you, Tatianna?
I was in 3rd grade.
Oh, okay.
3rd grade. So it was really hard. It was hard for me. But I had a strong mother, and she always told me that I had to push through, that I had to continue the work and learn. I did. In 3rd grade, I took an exam at the end, and I moved to 4th grade English class. So I was in all English class. Everyone there. I was very excited. But I think with good, there are always challenges. And to us, our challenge was that our apartment where we lived burned down. We were left with nothing. The 2 bags we had from Puerto Rico gone. There's nothing left for us. Right there, we went to a shelter for a few days. That was very humbling. You know, as a young girl, not having family and friends to go out to, not having anyone to relate to, at being in a shelter with your mom, you know, it's very humbling. It's something that I learned that community can rally together to help people when they're down. That, you know, I learned that when you're going through something like that, the community can rally together to help and build people up. The church helped us, the government helped us, the community nonprofits helped us, and we got a little apartment. My mom got a job as a maid, and she helped open envelopes in a bank. So I saw her go through the struggle, even though she was a teacher in Puerto Rico. She had her studies, but she couldn't work. She couldn't speak in English. So for us, it was hard. You know, we struggled, but we went through that. I learned that, you know, I wanted a better future for her. I wanted to be the best daughter I could be to make sure she was proud, you know. After that, we went back to Puerto Rico, as many immigrants do. I went back to Puerto Rico. I finished my middle and my high school. I graduated with good grades, and I went into the University of Puerto Rico. He's in Puerto Rico too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice.
Surprise!
Yeah.
They're all around.
So, in the University of Puerto Rico, I started in political science. So, political science was always in my mind. I always wanted to do something in political world, but I just didn't know what then. As a young woman, I fell in love. I got married. I had my son. And that moment, I understood my mom. I decided that I needed to complete my bachelor's, but I didn't have childcare. I had no childcare during the day. My mom was still working. My husband was working. I had my child. I had no childcare. Well, let me see how I do this. I need to finish a bachelor's degree for my son. I changed concentration to criminal justice. I could find more classes. It was, you know, more convenient to me. And I said, okay, let's do this. I finished my bachelor's in criminal justice from Metropolitan University in Puerto Rico. And then, you know, after that, I got divorced. Things didn't work out, but it was good. You know, my son, again, it's always been my focus. I want to make sure that he was fine, that he was taken care of. I went into being a single mom, just like my mom. And I met my husband, Eugenio. His name is really long. It's Eugenio Matta Lopez Cepero. So when you see him, you just tell him that. Eugenio Matta Lopez Cepero. So that last name, you'll never forget it. I remember we studied together in middle school. So I'm going to date myself a little. So I know that Facebook before had a poke button. It had a poke. It still does. It still does. But you had a poke button. And I decided to poke him and say, hey, how are you? You know, I remember your last name. And he's like, oh, I remember you too. And we started talking. So we, you know, we met each other again through Facebook. Yes, we did. And, you know, we started a relationship, fell in love, and we got married. I married him before being a military spouse, before even considering being in the military. A few years into our marriage, he decided to join the Air Force. And we packed our bags and we left Puerto Rico to the state of California. Yay. Yeah. When I came here, the first thing I said to my son, oh my goodness, this is it. I love California. I just, you know, see the diversity, just see people who are so embracing of our military family. I fell in love with California. As a new military spouse, it was hard. You know, because you don't know the system, you don't know how things work within the military, so it was a learning curve for us. But we went through it, you know. I decided to volunteer my time. I went to the PTOs. I did everything I could to help other military spouses.